Hey, what's up, guys? We are back at the movies, and we're going to see the 1999 film South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. This is the 25th anniversary, and we are super stoked to see it. I'm James.
And I'm Ben.
And I'm Max.
And I'm super excited, dude, because I think all of us, anyone in our age bracket, grew up loving South Park. I remember the very first time I saw South Park. I remember my uncle brought a VHS over, and it was like the first two episodes. It was the Osama bin Laden one and the alien abduction.
Hey, it's happening again! Whoa!
And yeah, I've been a fan ever since. I remember thinking it was one of the funniest things I'd ever seen, and here we are, 2024, still a huge fan.
Yep, 25th anniversary. I've been a huge fan since I was a little kid. My sister actually had a CD of it. Probably wasn't the most appropriate thing.
Or don't say fuck anymore, because fuck is the worst word that you can say.
For the soundtrack, this was actually nominated for Academy Award. Didn't win. Phil Collins did for Tarzan. But fair, yeah.
And now, I'd like to sing the complex and amazing song that won me the Oscar!
So what kind of reactions were you getting?
Phil Collins was mad.
Yeah, he was like, this is a very serious event. Yeah, but I mean,
He did not say
No, he
that.
really did.
No,
To
he
someone,
didn't.
not to us, but to someone right in front of us. And like,
Phil Collins?
no, it really was.
An
he's
angry Phil Collins.
Yeah, screw him. But you know, it was,
I wanna know, can you show me? But yeah, let's go in there, let's watch it, and let's have fun.
Yeah, and shout out to Matt Stone and Trey Parker, just fucking legends, just consistently going at it all these years later.
Still watching it to this day.
Let's go.
This is the one I was talking about who should have directed. What was the movie that we watched? The Watchers?
Oh, The Watchers, yeah.
I don't know if it was The Watchers. No, it was the shit. I don't.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I think they're going to go full horror. It's going to be missing, some of the sci-fi suspense, but I think they're going to go just straight up horror, and I'm okay with that.
Well, it's supposed to take place after the first movie,
Okay.
so that's what I heard. I don't know if that's correct. I could be wrong, but
How do we feel about Bad Boys 3?
I actually really enjoyed it.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I saw it. I would see it again.
I have a hard time getting past Will Smith being a jackass to Chris Rock still.
You gotta get over it.
I guess. But my thing is, we grew up with him. Like, I appreciate his work as an actor. Grew up watching Fresh Prince. It's like, who doesn't love a little Wild Wild West?
Well, here's the thing. So, because he's not allowed to be at the Academy Awards anymore.
Good.
So he's going back to doing all those action movies that he used to do. So he's not going to do those serious roles, those drama roles. So his next movie is going to be a sci-fi movie, which is kind of cool.
All right, we're doing speed round of immediate impressions, first impressions on movies. 10 seconds, blink twice, go, James.
I think it's going to be shit. I think what is this, directed by M. Night Shyamalan? No, it's not. Oh, Zoe Kravitz. Maybe it might be better. I don't know. I like her. First time director, I believe.
2, 1.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's going to be disappointing. I think there's going to be a couple cool things, but it looks like the Goosebumps episode with like the cheesy camera, say cheese and die. Looks like a solid 3 out of 5. Not that impressed. What do you think, Max?
I have no idea. I don't know who the director is. I don't know who the writer is. Channing Tatum's in it. He's an actor. Looks like a movie.
Time's up. Can we just end it, guys? Come on. Stop. Mufasa? Okay, then what's next? Scar? And then what? Timon and Pumbaa? Actually, Timon and Pumbaa, not a bad idea. But
We had that.
we did as cartoons, right? And Timon and Pumbaa, the show. They had a Timon and Pumbaa show on Disney.
My niece loves these movies.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Tell her she has bad taste. You know what? I don't care. All right, and then this one, we're going to go see it. We're moderately excited, but only for Wolverine. Deadpool, personally, not a huge Deadpool fan, but I can't speak for these guys.
I'm seeing it for Deadpool.
You like Deadpool?
I love his raunchy humor
Interesting.
and sort of off the cuff. You never know what's going to happen. Ryan Reynolds is so hot.
Of our childhoods. And then Beetlejuice 2, I mean, come on. Who's not excited about Beetlejuice 2?
Me?
You're not excited?
I mean,
I'm just glad to see Tim Burton doing something again.
I'm excited to see Beetlejuice. I don't know what Beetlejuice 2 is, but I'm excited to see Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice squared.
Clever. Immediate thoughts, I think it'll be good. I think we're looking at a solid 4 out of 5. I think the modern era it might not hold up as well as the original, but what does? Yeah, Keaton's doing it. Yeah, so I think because of that and because of Tim Burton, it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be like 10 out of 10, but I think it's going to be good.
I changed my mind. I want to see it.
Yeah, we'll go together. I'm thinking a solid 4 out of 5 minimum. I think it's going to be good.
Well, what's going on right there? What's that?
That's
I didn't see it.
That's what happens to people if they don't subscribe.
Tim Burton came back for this, and he's actually excited for this movie to come out because he went back to practical effects and really got his blood flowing, he said in an interview.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I will say, Tim Burton, one of my favorite directors, for sure. Big fan.
Of his early stuff, for
well,
sure.
yeah, 80s and 90s Tim Burton.
And hopefully this.
I think after Big Fish, I checked out with him as a director. Big Fish was like his last, like, really, truly great movie, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw the Tansy Fit movie. Who wants to touch me? Nowhere. We heard them from Mr. Garrison a few times before. Took a secret oath and swore ourselves to secrecy. It was the Tansy Fit movie. Dude, what fucking toilet humor?
Well, I guess I'll have to send a warning letter out to parents before more children. Today, you don't have to spend your life addicted to smack. Homeless on the streets giving hand jobs for crack.
All right, guys, so we just got out of seeing South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, and it was beautiful. I hadn't seen it all the way through in quite a few years, but it's funny how many times I've actually seen that movie. Like, I would say probably 5 times, probably. I don't know, but it's been a long time. I would say, I don't know, maybe 10 years since I've watched it all the way through.
Yeah, probably 10 years. I've seen
Take the microphone. Take the microphone.
I've seen it a lot more. Probably. I'm double digits on that.
Really?
Yeah, I can quote it.
Nice.
I mean, it's kind of cool in there too because a lot of people were quoting the movie, so
Yeah.
it was fun. It's fun seeing that with like a lot of people who are fans of South Park.
They have all the sing-along sections with the lyrics on screen. People were
was
going
fun.
nuts. It was kind of cool.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was
I like
nice.
that. But one thing that was
Participation.
It was a nice little participation. One thing that I thought was kind of cool about it, that I learned something new. I thought we could do like a little fun factoid section just because, there's really not a lot to critique. It's a movie that we all like, So we'll talk about some fun facts. But one thing that I just learned literally like 10 minutes ago was Brent Spiner, the actor who played Data from Star Trek The Next Generation.
And I'm sitting there drinking this coffee, and I open up the USA Today, and it's a review of the South Park movie, and it's saying it's really funny and everything. And then it has this box, which is the list of like who plays who. And it has all the different names of people, and then it says Conan O'Brien is played by, and my jaw just dropped. But it was really funny, and I loved it, and I got to know those guys later on, and they said, we're really sorry about your voice in that movie. And I said, what? And they said, the guy who played Data, I guess, on that Star Trek, what's his name?
Yeah.
Whoever that guy is.
I can't remember.
He convinced them I do the most amazing Conan O'Brien. And they're like, cool, okay. Great, and that's why one of the reasons they worked me in is because he convinced them that he did a drop-dead perfect Conan O'Brien, and then he got into the booth and he was like, "No, next question." And Matt and Trey were like, "What the fuck is that?" But it was too late, so.
Well, I like that they were like, well, there's nothing that can be done about it.
Yeah, I know. But once you know Matt and Trey, you know that's problem. They were like, whatever, good enough.
This is our favorite part of the movie. Yeah, this is when in the movie a pretty famous celebrity kills themselves, and it's pretty. Let's take a look at this clip from South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
You laughed. What have I done?
That is so funny. That is so funny. Well, what's really cool too is that Brett Spiner, who's Data from Star Trek, he did your voice. That's what very accurate. That was his take on how I sound. Yeah. Well, first he's like, let me do my impersonation of Conan. He's like, blah, 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 blah.
That was Brent Spiner doing the voice.
They could have gotten Conan.
They totally could have gotten Conan.
Totally got it.
I wonder if they just assumed at that point in time, because South Park was only 2 years old at that point, that Conan wouldn't do it, and maybe they didn't know how cool he was or something, or they just assumed he wouldn't.
Maybe they asked Conan. He didn't know how big South Park would, like, such an impact it would have on our.
That's possible.
And Trey and Matt worked on, they did South Park on the Paramount lot where we shot Star Trek. And so I used to bump into them on the lot, and they were fans of the show, and I was fans of their show, and we'd schmooze a little bit. After the series was over, I got a phone call one Saturday morning, and it was Trey Parker, and he said, hey, are you doing anything this morning? And I said, no, not really. And he said, can you come over to our studio? They had a studio in Santa Monica as well, and they said, can you come to the studio and do a voice for the South Park movie, the first South Park movie, which was opening Wednesday, and this was on a Saturday. And I said, what voice do you want me? They said, can you do Conan O'Brien? And I said, oh no, I watched Conan O'Brien. At that point, he was really new. on the air, and I didn't know him that well, and I'd seen him, and I thought, well, they said, can't you come down and give it a shot? And I said, all right. So,
very big South Park fans. Who are your top 5 characters of all time? And I'm going to say all time because there's so many that have become favorites as the show has gone on. Like at this point, like the show started, I think, in 97, right? So this was 99, I believe.
Yeah, correct.
So it's like you were saying, it's like Randy hadn't been developed yet, really, very much. Butters wasn't even in there. I didn't even see him.
He was in there. He fell down. He had the flag, and he just tripped.
Oh, but it was real brief.
Yeah,
though.
he's very brief. I don't even. Yeah, like you said, I don't even think they like had a name yet for Butters.
I think it was
yet.
like 5th season when he got his own episode and became a real canon.
That sounds about right. And then he kind of like replaced Kenny as time went on, as far as like
when Kenny died,
screen time.
They
Yeah,
used him for a little bit, took his place. They
But-
would even call him Kenny.
They look like they could be illegitimate brothers or something like that.
they could be. But that's what I was going to say was who, grand scheme of things, all time, are your top 5 favorite South Park characters?
I could kick it off. Always, I mean, everyone's usually favorites. Carmen, of course, that's one. Randy, for sure. I love Tally now. He has a lot of character development with him and Randy together. It's hilarious. I love Stan, too. Butters.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to throw in Tweak in there.
Tweak is fun.
The Tweak is fun. There's so many more characters in there. I mean, like, Mr. Garrison's hilarious, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many.
There's so many good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta go Randy. That's my all-time favorite. I think Randy is just so freaking hilarious. I'm gonna say Butters. I'm gonna say Mr. Garrison.
Oh, Mr. Mackey, too. Sorry, I was trying to think of his name.
Yes, Mr. Garrison. I'm gonna say newer PC Principal is one of my favorites.
I love PC.
And I'm gonna say, I mean, I love all. It kind of goes without saying. Like I love Cartman and Kyle and Stan. Like I love them.
Yeah, you love the kids.
But you know what I mean? It's almost like it's implied that I love those guys because they drive the story. You know, they're the main characters. But I'm gonna say for my 5th, I'll say Mr. Mackey. I'll say it's a tie between Mr. Mackey and Chef, but I think Mr. Mackey makes me chuckle more. So I'm gonna say Mr. Mackey.
I'd say in this movie, I like Satan. He has the best character arc in the movie. Nobody changes in this movie until the very end.
Yeah.
Kyle's mom's top 5. Mr. Mackey. God, I can't think of the fucking.
It's okay. It's been a long day.
Yeah, Chef, Eric's mom, Satan, Mr. Mackey. Is that 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my top 5.
Those are good.
Towley's up there, but I don't know. Not really.
Towley's funny.
He's a stoner.
I mean,
he's lovely.
You gotta love Tally. It's like Mr. Hankey. Mr. Hankey was always a favorite.
So those.
When you were a kid, did you have to sneak South Park?
I never had to sneak it, to watch it or anything. No, I kind of had to anything was really open for me. I mean, I always watched Terminator, Predator.
Yep.
Like I said, we had the CD for this movie, so I don't know.
Yeah, I remember it was like I said in the beginning of the episode. It was brought to us. My Uncle Brian was like, "This is so funny. You guys have to watch this," and brought it on VHS. And I remember eating pizza with my mom and my dad and my uncle, and sitting there and watching it when I was probably 7 or 8, watching it for the first time.
When did the movie come out?
1999.
1999.
Yeah.
9 years old. Yeah, I had to sneak to my neighbor's house, whose parents were never home, and he had it recorded on tape.
Those are the best friends. The friends when you're a kid, where the parents are not home or negligent, and it's you're like, hey, look at the Playboy, look at the fucking HBO, you know.
The Dreamcast, baby.
Dreamcast, baby. So in the Guinness World Records, 2001, this film was said to have had the most profanity used in an animated film. The book cited a total of 399 swear words, including 146 uses of the word fuck.
Does the record still stand, I wonder?
Good question. Probably not. Along with 199 offensive gestures and 221 acts of violence. And
which at the time, that was
insane, yeah.
I know this was at the time, I think one of the top box office movies for a Radar animated movie.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then I think it was 2018, Sausage Party came in and got it.
Really?
Yeah.
What other rated R movies were there in the 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Well, for animated?
For animated.
None.
Not
None
really.
that I can think
No, that's
of.
why 2018, I think it was 2018, Sausage Party came in and stole it.
I'm absolutely shocked that Sausage Party would beat out South Park, because South Park was such a phenomenon. Yeah, I feel like so many people had the toys of South Park, and it was such a big cultural thing.
Yeah.
I cannot believe it would be beaten out by Sausage Party.
Yeah, South Park shaped a generation. Sausage Party was just kind of
Sausage Party's so forgettable. Not even a blip. It was more of a weenie bounce.
And now they're coming out with a TV show.
So dumb.
Again, we're the only ones here fighting this fight.
We're fighting the good fight. Are you with us?
What now?
That's the first time I've ever milked for applause.
Yeah.
I'm so psyched. I just got a group of people to applaud.
Yeah, never. The first time you milk for applause and you get it, it's just like heroin. You just got to do it again. Yeah.
How long do you guys think Well, I think I already kind of know the answer to this, but if you guys don't know, how long do you think South Park's going to continue on? Like, what's your guess? Like, how long do you think we'll have new episodes and new specials and stuff?
Well, I mean, they came out a few years ago. They were the whole season was like getting canceled, and they never did.
They were like intentionally trying to get canceled?
I think so, but like it never happened, and they made like 5 more seasons after that. And the show's still going on, but the thing I don't like about like shows these days, and I guess with them as well too, they're only making like 8 episodes a season, 10 episodes a season. They've literally not come out seasons anymore, just specials. Yeah. So I mean, at least they're like an hour long. We just got a special from them like the beginning of this year, I believe. Yeah. And it was fun. It was funny. The one before that was good too. But I just want like back in the day, like it was like 20 episodes for a season. I want that. I want a South Park season when it's just fully going. But if I have to say if it's still gonna be on the air, I give it. I don't know. Those guys really like doing this stuff. Say another 10 to 15 years.
That's a very good guess. I'm going to say, well, you go ahead and say yours because I have like a little information that's like swaying my choice. So you go ahead.
Well, they're simply not hungry anymore. They're rich, and they've become, they're rich now. Maybe they're disconnected with their fan base a little bit. But I don't know. They seem pretty down-to-earth guys. Yeah. But my guess is it's such a valuable IP that they'll probably sell it off, or when they die, someone will inherit it, and it'll, hopefully we won't see it turn into a Disney. Maybe Disney will buy it.
Let's hope not. I don't think so.
Become part of the empire.
Yeah, right. I mean, anything's possible with Disney. Who knows? But I do believe they signed a contract for another 10 years worth of guaranteed content.
10 years.
10 years, and it was for, I want to say, $1 billion with a B. I think it was like a crazy amount of money. Someone will have to fact check me on that, but it was like absolutely insane, hilarious. And so I think even beyond that, though, I'm gonna guess we're gonna get a solid 15 more years of content from these guys. So we're at, let's see, 24 as of the recording this, 34, 35, 36, 37. I'm going to say 13 more years because it would be cool for them to end on the 7 like when they started. So what would that be? That would be 07, 17, 27, 37, 40 years of South Park. Am I doing my math right? So, I mean, that would be kind of a cool way to end like a solid 40 years.
40 years would be nice.
So that's my prediction, but who knows? I could be wrong, but I love those guys. I'm glad they're doing what they're doing. I'm glad we got to have a show like that didn't get canceled in the 90s. I'm glad they followed their dream, man, because I'm a huge fan. Maybe they'll want to go on and do some movies. What I hope they do is, I know they did basketball, but I hope they would continue on like the Mike Judge route and do some actual movies, kind of like Office Space style.
Well, the other one is Team America World Police.
Funny.
Or the earlier work, too, because you said basketball, Orgasmo.
That's what I was trying to
yeah.
do.
Never saw Orgasmo.
It's funny. It's hilarious. Funny? Yeah, because you got a Mormon comes to... He wants to be like a... He just wants to make money. He's spreading the word, and he does...
to make money so he can start a family with his wife.
Yeah, and he starts shooting... Porn.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
However, he's not in it, though. He gets a body double.
Funny. I heard that...
he's in it until the dick gets...
The dick comes out. Yeah, he comes out. Well, yeah.
I heard the Book of Mormon was hilarious. I didn't watch it, but I heard as like a Broadway play, it was like 10 out of 10, like the funniest shit.
I had an opportunity to go see it. I think it was this year they had it at Tucson. Yeah. It's just too far. Prices were expensive.
I wonder if they'd ever like make an adaptation as a movie.
I hope they do, but I don't know exactly like what it's about.
Maybe it would take away from the magic, you know.
I just want them to come out with another movie, like something like this again, or Team America World Police. But in this day and age, I don't know if that's even plausible.
I'd like him to go back to live action. Like I said, the Mike Judge route. I want a Matt Stone and Trey Parker Office Space. Not basketball. I want like their Office Space. I want something that's like their humor and their magic like squeezed out into the real world today. Make it happen, boys.
Who's giving them the contract for 10 years? Do you know?
Good question. I would assume Comedy Central, but I don't think Comedy Central has billions to put out there.
It's so confusing because they drop so much stuff that was on Paramount and then it's on Max.
You know what? It's probably
But
Paramount.
I'm thinking it's Paramount.
Paramount would have that kind of scratch.
I mean, I kind of have an unpopular opinion. I wish stuff like this would just die and then they'd make something new that's interesting and fun.
I could get on board
I don't
with
know.
that.
I mean, South Park's the same. It's very formulaic. And, I mean, I don't know. Just keep making Family Guys. Of course, I mean, there is like American Dad.
How dare you?
No, I mean, like Family Guy.
I get what you're saying.
Family Guy stopped eventually. You made American Dad, which
Family
I mean,
Guy's still going.
It's still going.
What?
Yeah, it's still going.
But here's
They should die.
Here's I think where you checked out, and I think where most of us checked out too. Family Guy's still funny, but Seth MacFarlane hasn't been directly involved.
No, he hasn't.
As like showrunner and like. I think he still does the voices, obviously, but he hasn't been like directly like the head of it in like a decade.
So it's just running around with his head cut off, basically.
Exactly. It's still funny. It still has talented writers and stuff, but it's not the Family Guy you had in 2009.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I just wish that some of these giants would die and give new people a chance with new ideas.
I agree totally. I think after a certain point, it does get stale. As much as I fucking love South Park and I'll watch every episode that they make, and I'm glad that they're doing it, but like for Family Guy, for instance, yeah, maybe it's time to throw in the towel. Like maybe it's like, shows like that, maybe they do have a shelf life.
I mean, you remember in the 90s when like new ideas would be published and people would take risks?
No. I'm just kidding. No, I do. Yeah, no, I do. And
Howard the Duck.
And that was the time though, honestly. Like I know you guys hear us say this all the time, but that's kind of the point of the channel. Like 80s and 90s, they took so many risks. Early 2000s, they took risks, and I think that's why the content was so much better. So yeah, dude, I feel you 100%.
Yeah. I'm just jaded.
I'm jaded too. Jaded.
I love South Park.
I love South Park too. Yeah.
But on it,
I had a South Park calendar when I was a kid on my wall.
Oh.
Was it still as funny as the first time you watched it?
I think so. I mean, I feel like because if the audience is there, right there, they're laughing with you. But I'm curious, like, if they weren't there, am I laughing with them or am I just laughing because of the movie? So it's kind of hard to tell. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I had like two tiny chuckles. I remember as a kid, I was just cracking my ass up because, I mean, the F word was still funny to me.
Yeah.
But now, you hear 100 curse words, and I mean, I'm just not fazed anymore.
Yeah, Uncle Effer was one I would play on repeat a lot, and now I'm like, whatever.
Well, I think a big part of it, too, is, like, if you saw that fresh, like, let's say we'd never seen South Park at the age that we're at now. Like, let's say you went back in time and you were just not familiar with it. You're like, hey, you want to go see a South Park movie? And you're like, okay, sure. And you watched it now with, like, a total clean slate. Like, that shit would have been hilarious. Like, I feel like that would have really cracked me up. But I think we've been privileged enough to have South Park for so long, we are desensitized a little bit. It's like you've seen that so many times. It's like it loses its punch, And even, like, Dumb and Dumber, like, one of the funniest movies ever, one of my favorite films of all time. I still laugh watching it, but like the laugh is going to be different than your first time watching it. It's like once you can quote it and everything, it's like it's just different. You still love it, it's still hilarious, but sometimes you sit there and don't laugh out loud because it's like you're just enjoying it in your head, So it's kind of different.
Well, you think of the context of just being in the 90s. I mean, they cursing on like a cartoon was just new, South Park, I believe they were the first people to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you had Simpsons and stuff.
I mean, successfully.
Oh, sorry. You're good. No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'll just be on the They ruined the
I'm kidding. They're fine. I don't care. But, yeah, no, I mean, it's like Simpsons were there doing it, but it was never as raunchy as South Park, Fuck, 5 out of 5. Like,
yeah, 5 out of 5.
I love South Park. It's like for them to come out with that in 1999 and really go balls to the wall and to still enjoy it with a modern audience. Yeah, it's a 5 out of 5. It's South Park. It's unapologetic. It tells you what it is. Bigger, longer, uncut. Just a longer, raunchier South Park episode, and they delivered for sure.
It made the cut. It's a cult classic.
What do you say star rating?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I like it. Perfect.
So he's a 5 out of 5.
Yeah, 5 out of 5.
But one thing I would like to say to you guys is we're getting a lot of good viewership, a lot of good engagement, but I don't see that subscriber count going up. So make sure you guys hit that little notification bell if it still exists in the future, and yeah, comment. We got some cool stuff coming your way. We're going to talk about the Dolph Lundgren Punisher. We're going to talk about, or maybe we'll talk about Gotti. I don't know. But anyway, guys, be kind.
Rewind.
And subscribe.
Here come some people. Goodbye.
Bye.
No, you're fine.
No, you're good. We just ended.
You're good. Nice people.